In the caddy. Alright, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Monday morning. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed as Bitcoin is back, baby. Yeah, we took a little bit of a dip over the weekend, you know what I'm saying? We took a little bit of a dippity dump over the weekend, you know what I mean? Like, we came down a massive 3%, but we are back, baby, over $95,000. We're going to be talking about what is going to be happening right now, because when I look at this price action, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm actually more excited than the time Carl from the Moon personally picked me up from his house in his Maserati and drove me to McDonald's to buy a Big Mac meal. In fact, we video recorded on our camcorders the whole experience, and there's a movie coming out soon.
Hello, I would like to get a Big Mac meal.
So why am I so excited, you ask? Jason, why are you so excited? How can you be walking so fast on the treadmill this morning? How can you be so excited when we're simply just ranging in a little bit of a range? You're right, guys. Bitcoin is simply ranging in a little bit of a range. Is it a bull flag? What is it? We're going to be talking about it today because we are coming to a very important area on the chart. And I got to give a major shout out to the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Long set up, given in advance a week ago. Obviously, that trade is in the most juicy profits. You can join the community at jasonstratham.com. Best trading community in the world. Got to give a major shout out to BLOFIN. BLOFIN right now offering 10% cash back, multiple chances to win $100 throughout the month, as well as the lowest fees on a centralized exchange. 0% limit order fees for the next 30 days if you sign up using Jason Casper's link. 0.04% market order fees. Also got to give a shout out to ANTARCTIC, a decentralized exchange. The lowest fees available in the world, as far as I know. 0% limit order, 0.015% market order. Major shout out to Antarctic Decentralized Exchange, guys. Check it out. It's going to change the world. But Bitcoin is coming up to a very important area of resistance. And as you can see from this chart right here, guys, as you can see from this chart, we have broken major resistance. We are coming to a key level. This is the doorway to that mythical conversation at Thanksgiving dinner where you get to sit down and tell your parents and your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, everyone who doubted you, that yeah, you're a billionaire now because you bought Bitcoin, and they should have bought it too, and they're wrong, and you are right. And now we're rich, baby, we can all retire. But I'm not going to doubt you because y'all doubted me, so I'm with my family, let alone my life. And wait a second, I love you guys. Y'all can come with me, man. This is the doorway to that mythical Thanksgiving Day conversation. All right, where we pump to a new all-time high, baby. All right. Why is this the doorway? We're going to get into it, but before we do, I got to remind everybody to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If we can get 1,500 likes in the first half hour, we will be giving away $1,000. Now, here's the thing. I took a few weeks off. I changed my streaming time. So, viewership is down, all right? Viewership is down. We gotta let the algorithm know that Jason Casper streams at the ungodly hour of 7 in the morning Eastern time, which is like 4 in the morning Pacific time. Right, so we got to get people up in here. So tell your aunts, tell your grandfathers, tell your everybody that they gotta like the dang video. My mic is broken. All right, let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we could do here. Let me know if that's any better. Let me know if that's any better. I think that should be a little bit better here. All right. But look, sometimes sometimes when you shout, man, the mic is gonna peak. All right, when you shout, it's gonna peak. All right. So make sure to like the dang stream. We got 700 people in the house, 150 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. All right. Make sure to take your coffee sips from your Market Cipher 24-ounce coffee mug, marketciphertrading.com. Shout out to CryptoFace. Shout out to Flop and Groper. All right, and we got to shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out to Brave. Shout out to Lightbot. Shout out to Pastor Thanks. Shout out to Felix H. Shout out to Warren G. Not good, not good. Okay, it's good now, says HFG. I trust HFG. Shout out to HFG. Shout out to Pegless. Shout out to Investment Time. Shout out to Captain Happy. Shout out to the Dusty Hunt. Good morning, fellow traders. Shout out to Jackson Crawford. Shout out to Rakesh B. Mike had dead with sound. I'm so sorry, guys. You know, look, I ain't a dang DJ over here. I'm just an overexcited crypto trader with a backwards New York Yankees red hat. That's right. I bet you didn't know I was a Yankees fan. I didn't know either until I somehow acquired this red hat. All right. Shout out to Big Don 25. Shout out to Captain Happy. Shout out to Jason Vane. He says, stream time's excellent for Australia. All right, well, we're going to get our Aussies up in here, man. We're going to get them up in here. All right? All right. So let's pop over right now to TradingView. Let's take a look at this Bitcoin action. We got to understand what we are in for this week, because we got some signals. We got some signals on the dang chart. All right? Shout out to Zeal DMV. Shout out to Adventures and Pop-Ups. I like that username. Shout out to Mr. Era. Shout out to Walker Mobley. Shout out to Cipher Rider. Shout out to Milan. You'll buy me a new mic? You'll buy me a new mic? I've actually been looking at a mic. Let's see. This is the mic I'm thinking of getting. All right, here we are over on TradingView. All right. Here we are over on TradingView. Now, what do we got to understand? First of all, as we've been saying, weekly time frame. What's the overall big context? Big context is this. We're in an uptrend. November 2022. We've got ourselves a juicy trend line that we're coming down to bounce from. And as we take a look here at the trend line, we are seeing market Cipher B is printing something known as a hidden bullish divergence. Hidden bull div is where, as the price is bouncing from a trend line, the oscillator market Cipher B is getting lower. Right? It's a hidden bullish divergence. It's a continuation pattern in an uptrend. When you're in an uptrend, what marks the bottom? The bottom is marked by the bullish divergence, where you have a big momentum wave showing weakness, right? This oscillator is showing you how strong or how weak is the price action. So when it's very low, that's showing you weakness, but the lower you go, the more probability there is that a bottom's in. Then what happens? The price makes a lower low. So price is getting lower, people are getting more bearish, but our oscillator is telling us, even though price is getting lower, momentum is stronger. What does that mean? It means the sellers are exhausted. All right, this is known as a bullish divergence, aka the uneven butt cheek pattern. Big, fat, juicy left butt cheek full of gravy and ricotta cheese and ravioli, olive oils, butter, ghee, organic grass-fed ghee. Right there, boom, that's the bottom signal. Then what happens is, as the uptrend continues, this oscillator, if we continue in the uptrend and this oscillator is making now lower waves, you can think of it as taking a rock from the roof of your house, throwing it down onto your trampoline. The trampoline takes a big dip, and then boom, that rock shoots to the upside, right? That's exactly what happened over here. Hidden bull div. Now, how do you know if a hidden bull div is going to play out or not? You look at the lower time frames, because this is a continuation pattern, but it's also a sign of weakness, right? Because when the momentum wave comes low, that is technically a sign of weakness. So how do we know this hidden bullish div is actually bullish? We go to the lower time frames. The lower time frames are going to tell us a zoomed in view of the higher time frames. If you're looking at a high time frame, it's like looking down from an airplane. You can't really tell what's going on. So what you can either do is, number one, put on your dang glasses, all right, to try and see more clearly, or you can put on your glasses and zoom in using binoculars or some kind of Nikon fancy schmancy camera. That's what going to lower time frames tells us. When we go to the lower time frame, and the high time frame says continuation pattern, and the low time frame says uneven butt cheek pattern, this is the perfect combination. It's called the hidden regular divergence strategy. You have a hidden divergence on a high time frame, a regular divergence on a low time frame. Now keep this in mind. A regular divergence is telling you that the dip is over. Why is it telling you this? Because if the price continues to get lower, but the momentum is coming back into the market, that means it's uneven, right? That doesn't make any sense. That price is getting lower, yet momentum's getting higher. This means there's an imbalance and there needs to be a correction to fix the over bearishness in the market. So when you have a continuation pattern in the high time frame trend, this is the high trend, right? Continuation pattern prints right here, but then locally you have a reversal pattern because we've already had our retracement, our local downtrend. Now we're printing a reversal pattern of the local downtrend while simultaneously printing a continuation pattern of the big uptrend. That's the perfect storm for Pump City. Again, getting me more excited than the time me and Carl from the Moon drove to McDonald's in the Maserati to get a Big Mac meal. All right, adrenaline pumping more than the time. I got pulled over trading and driving, arrested, went to jail simply because I was trying to trade the swing failure pattern on Bitcoin as we came to key resistance. Now, why do they put TVs in the cars these days? I don't know. They put TVs on the cars. They put Trading View on the car. All right. Scary day, scary time. Now, we're going to take a look at this. We're going to zoom in again to the daily. Because in the midst of all the bullishness, we are in fact printing a little bit of a signal here, a red dot on the daily time frame, which historically means sideways and down for the next few days. Now on Saturday, happened on a weekend, so weekend price action is shady. We confirmed a red dot on market Cipher B. In the middle of this very bullish looking environment, we printed a red dot. What does that mean? Well, let's go and look at past red dots that printed on market Cipher B. All right, we'll just put our little cursor on the chart. Look at these red dots, these dang diggity red dots, or as we say in Espanol, el punto rojo. All right, those Mexican gangsters trying to trade the price action across the support and resistance border. El punto rojo. Let's see how. Go to all these el punto rojos. Okay, now every time we print el punto rojo on El Charto, what happens? Sideways and down for the next few days. El punto rojo, sideways and down for 3 days. El punto rojo, sideways and down for quite some time. All right. El punto rojo, sideways and down for a few days. This el punto rojo, if you follow the channel, we were very clear that this el punto rojo didn't count. All right, just because of the way it looks. El punto rojo, sideways and down for a few days. El punto rojo, sideways and down. 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 El punto rojo, sideways and down. El punto rojo, what do we expect? All right, I mean, now again, I'm not telling you we're going sideways and down, okay? I'm just here to say, oh, sorry. Sometimes the smell of a plunger can help me calm down from all the caffeine flowing through my veins from my MarketCipherTrading.com mug. It was autographed by CryptoFace, but I thought it was part of the design. So when I put it through the dishwasher, it washed off. So it's no longer autographed by CryptoFace. Sad. Sad. So here's the deal. El punto rojo means sideways and down in the midst of a very bullish thing going on here. Now, what does this mean? Well, I'll tell you what I think it means. All right. It is a Monday, the beginning of a week. False Move Monday, they call it. FMM, False Move Monday. You guys ever have a false move? You're outside minding your own business. All of a sudden, you feel something knocking at the back door of your colon. You run upstairs to the bathroom, sit on the toilet, awaiting a large move. But all that happens is flatulence. Gas. That's it. Just gas. False Move Monday. All right. They often call it a False Move Monday. Usually the big move happens throughout the week. Now, we are coming up to a very key area of resistance here on the chart, around $97,000. Okay? 97,000, it's the point of control of the entirety of this range here. Why is that so important? Well, because when the market has established a fair value, for example, right here, the market has determined that the fair value border here, anything below 90,000 is undervalued, anything above 105,000 is overvalued, and fair price for Bitcoin is around 97,000. That's considered fair price. When most of that volume at fair price is above us, that's considered resistance. Okay? So we're coming up to the most important resistance that we have had, literally, since we lost that level, I'd say, in February. All right? Most important resistance for the past 2 months, we're coming up to it, printing very bullish high time frame signals, but also El Punto Rojo is coming out of El Taco Bell with, I don't know, I forget what Taco Bell even has on their menu. I haven't eaten Taco Bell in years. Now, but what do we know about Taco Bell? Could cause a dump. So we're coming up here, El Punto Rojo, coming out Taco Bell, about to eat all that in his car. This could give us a little bit of a pullback sideways and down for the next few days. Not saying it's guaranteed to happen, but we're looking at the past El Punto Rojos on the charto, El Taco Bello. We're saying, look, historically speaking, the red dot means sideways and down, at least for the next few days or a week or so. So as we're coming to key resistance, as people are very bullish, including myself, I mean, I'm so dang bullish right now. You've seen the thumbnails, right? You've seen the open eyes, open mouth, oh my goodness, I'm getting ready to have the mythical conversation at Thanksgiving, like I said, where I get to sit down and tell all my relatives that they were wrong and I was right and I'm actually a genius for investing in crypto. And they shouldn't have doubted me. You know? That mythical Thanksgiving conversation where you get to sit down with a belly full of turkey and just gloat in your genius. Everyone's getting ready to have that conversation here, but here's the thing. It's not November. And to all my Canadians and Australians that don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. But it's May. It's not November. And we're coming up to an area of resistance. So that means we could get a little bit of a pullback from here. And if we do, like I said, we're looking for a $90,000 backtest, or potentially I'd say we're looking down for a backtest around the $78,000 level. Or I'd actually even be okay with another scenario of coming to take the low and then getting a big pump. So overall, yeah, I'm going to be bullish here. But I understand that this red dot could lead to something like more downside. So again, if we get more downside, there are 3 very important levels to be aware of. Number 1, 90,000 is now key support. This is our support since November. Now we flipped into resistance. Now it's back to support. So if we get a red dot sideways and down for a little bit here, right? And we come down and we get this is the first place to be looking for our bounce. All right? Very important level here. Also, if we take our fib from the last low to the high, we do potentially have a Fibonacci golden pocket right around that area. Like if we come up a little bit higher, right? It's a hypothetical fib right now, but it's also could be there at the time. If we lose 90K, then we need to be prepared for the situation of simply trading this sideways range without breaking out. So we have a sideways range here. Our high that we made right here on March 3rd, this level was our support. Pretty respected. It was actually resistance back in November. Then it was support, resistance. We need to be aware of this as potentially being a sideways range in and of itself to trade, right? Where we can trade the range like this. And the breakout takes a little bit longer and we get this nice rounded bottom, okay? Now, if we're entertaining trading a sideways range, we also need to be aware of the market maker 1-2 slash. What's the market maker 1-2 slash? Wreck everybody before the real move. For example, you make your high, you make your low, all right? The market maker 1-2 slash. Did things look bearish up here? Did we have confirmed bearish divergences here? Yeah. We had confirmed bear dips here. Did we dump? Yeah. But guess what? We took the low and then we slashed them. Okay? Then guess what? We took the high and then we got our real move. So that's why as we're looking at this saying, you know what? We could go straight up to have that conversation at Thanksgiving. Bitcoin could be $5 million tomorrow. We don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if, like, Elon Musk is going to decide to put his whole net worth into Bitcoin tonight, tweet about it on Twitter, pump it up to 5 million, and then say, oh, just kidding. Did I say Bitcoin? I meant Big Macs. right? Then Bitcoin dumps, McDonald's stock pumps. We don't know, right? But here's the thing. We're saying as we come to resistance, we do need to be aware of our levels to the downside, right? Our levels to the downside for that bounce. Now, if we take the low, we get the market maker 1-2 slash. We also need to be aware that the macro Fibonacci golden pocket is coming in right below our current low. Also, we need to be aware that this low here is technically a core low on the TPO chart. We didn't really get a nice buying tail down here, and it looks like the kind of low that would get revisited. All right, looks like the kind of low that would get revisited. So I'm just gonna throw that out there, okay? Now, interesting things. First of all, we had a CME gap that is still on our chart. All right, we have a CME gap still on our chart. Let's go ahead and pop on our CME gap indicator here. That's the chart champions indicator. Let's get our CME gap indicator here. Let's remove that. Uh-oh, what did I do? What did I do? All right, you know what? Forget the dang indicator. Here we go. Here we go. All right. We have a CME gap above us. If we go to the CME futures chart, let's go to that daily time frame here. Look at this, guys. The Friday candle. Ooh! We actually already filled it. We already filled it. Very interesting. Okay. So interesting. Never mind. We already filled that gap we were looking at yesterday. All right. So the Bitcoin price right now, in my opinion, could get another move to the upside. We look at our 4-hour time frame here. Looks to me like we are being set up for another push to the upside. Nice confirmed 4-hour green dot. But we have to recognize that this could easily turn into something like this, right? The bearish divergence. So right now, we're forming this pattern. I expect, you know, in about an hour, 2-3 hours, I would not be surprised if we see a spike. And then I'm going to be looking for a pullback. Now, in about an hour and a half, I'm going to be streaming in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. I'm going to be going over my exact entries and my trading plans for today and this week on the low time frames. All right, right now we're just going to deal with the high time frame generalities, but Pacifics, Atlantics, Indian Oceans, Arctic Oceans, that's going to be in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at 9 a.m. New York time, where we give the trade setups. Like last week, on Monday, we gave the setup right from here, local setup, right from 86.4. We came down literally right to 86.4. Got the bounce, still in the long. All right, shout out to the Casper Crew. Also, guys, have to remind you, MEXC, aka not MEXC, Antarctic, is the best deal on fees right now. Antarctic exchange, decentralized exchange, new exchange. Link in the description. 0% limit order, 0.015% market order. Fees are so low, if you use my link, it's a special VIP level fees. Like, it's not even on their fee chart, all right? BLOFIN is also offering for the Casper Crew, or anybody who signs up using my link, 0% limit order fees right now, and 0.04% market order. Multiple chances to win $100 throughout the month, even if you don't deposit. 10% cash back, meaning deposit 1,000, get 100, and a chance to win all these prizes. Links in the pinned comments after the stream. Links in the description right now. All right, check it out. Also, I'm still trading on WEEX, guys. I still am trading on WEEX. I still have that short open on WEEX. All right, WEEX. I love WEEX as far as centralized exchanges go for low fees, but they do have some scam wicks here and there. All right, so trade at your own risk. But I still am trading on WEEX. All right, I still am trading on WEEX, baby. All right, so here we go. Bitcoin getting a bit of a move here. Let's go ahead and check out what's happening here in the order flow. All right, let's check out the order flow. Let's see what the actual buys and sells are doing. And guys, we have over 1,000 people in the house. We only have 200 likes. Let's see if we can't get the likes up to the watchers. So here we go. This is not the order flow. Let's get over to the order flow. All right, here we go. This is the order flow. Let's see what's been happening here. We're gonna go to our 30-minute time frame. Just kind of watch what's been happening here. So, okay, we don't really have any bullish CVD. We don't have any bearish CVD. But I would say this, guys. We actually did see a little bit of bullish absorption happen before this big pump that we saw last hour, all right? So if you see right here, we made this like little support level, and then we made a higher low, and you can see here the CVD getting lower, the open interest, big increase. This is showing us shorts actually being absorbed here, showing that the bigger players in the market right now are bullish. And I'd say they're looking to take out this high here. I'd say they're looking to take out this high. We don't see any bearish CVD forming here right now, which is nice. It would really not be good if we saw more longs right now than we saw right here, because that's showing that the bigger players want to push the price down. But right now, this looks pretty good to me. All right, this looks pretty good to me for a little bit of a spike to the upside. I'm excited to see what happens in a little less than an hour when the pre-market opens, all right? When the pre-market opens. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure to smash the likes. Let's see if we can't get the likes up to the watchers. Hang on, I gotta fix my hair. How does the hair look, by the way, guys? Let me know in the chat. How's the hair looking today? How's the hair looking today? Is it looking good? Or do I need a new hairstyle? How's the hair? Let's take a poll. How's the hair? How's the hair? We'll take our poll here. All right, shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to everyone holding it down with the wrench as a mod. Shout out to Michael Myers. Shout out to Andrew Cameron for all Canadians. Shout out to all my Canadians drinking their Tim Hortons. Shout out to Rave Song Records, catching the live. God bless you. Shout out to Lion Rune, liking the new stream time. Shout out to the online futurepreneur. Keep wearing a hat, bro. 90s rock. Bring out the Goldilocks. You don't care about the hair. We don't care about the hair. Please do a giveaway so I can pay for my rent. All right, here's the deal, guys. We have over 1,000 people in the house. I'm gonna set a 5-minute timer. If 5 minutes we get 1,000 likes, I'll give away $500. All right. Timer. Let's see if we can't do it. All right. Shout out to Keep On Grinding. Shout out to a beer. Shout out to MSRIO. You'll never make it Dubai with hair like that. Well, good thing I have no desire to ever go to Dubai. I have no desire to go to a desert that they somehow turned into like a giant city. Sounds horrible to me. All right, sounds horrible to me. I don't know. That's just my own personal preference. All right. But I'd rather be out here on the country, on the homestead. Let's check out ETH. ETH in a similar situation to Bitcoin, guys. All right, let's check out ETH here. Okay, here's what we need to understand about Ethereum. ETH right now has basically come down to bounce from the value area low of the bull market range. Very key support ETH is currently bouncing from. ETH is also holding above the POC of the bear market range. And depending on how you want to look at this, you could look at this as a really long breakout back test. Boom. What does that mean for ETH? Well, for ETH, if we want to see higher prices, like I said, the gateway to the mythical Thanksgiving conversation, where you get to sit down with your family and you go around the table and say what you're thankful for, and you can't wait for them to get to you, because you're going to tell them how you're a multi-billionaire now because Ethereum pumped. And they should have bought. You told them in 2016, you told them in 2019, you told them in 2020, you told them in 2022, but they didn't listen. They're like, Jay, that stuff's fake money, it's not backed by anything. You said, what about your dollar? What's that backed by?
the integrity of the United States government.
Alright? Now's your chance to say they were wrong, they were dumb, they should have listened to you, man. That fiat currency's going to zero! That conversation will happen if Ethereum comes above this box right here. Boom! New all-time highs. Why do I say? Because this is a very rare occurrence where we have had, in a bull market, ETH, which in my opinion, I know people say ETH is dead. ETH is not dead. In my opinion, it's too big. It's too big to be dead. It's too big to be dead. Alright? I think it's too big to be dead. When people who don't know anything about crypto think about crypto, what do they think about? They think about Bitcoin and they think about ETH. Alright? It has dipped down into bear market prices. We've never seen this happen before. We have had an opportunity to buy ETH at the same price that it was back in literally the bottom of the bear market. All right, November 2022. Isn't that crazy? And what this is here, this key box I've drawn on the chart, this is a very important range support resistance flip. This was our resistance in 2021. Our support all through 2021 and 2022. Then it was resistance through the bear market, support through the bull market. So if we're gonna look at this right now as a sideways range, all right, let's just do a thought experimente. This is our sideways range. What would this mean? What would this mean? All right, what would this mean if we dipped below the sideways range, formed a little bit of an inverted head and shoulder, and then come back to the range? This is called a bullish deviation, right? It's a bullish deviation. It means it's basically, it's a glorified fake out, guys. It's a fake out. Price came down low. It was too low. Glorified fake out. People took advantage. Boom. Coming above $2,000, the doorway to high prices, in my opinion. When we take a look also at this, right? Let's go to the weekly here. Again, I just want to point out the fact that we are, in fact, forming a very key, you know, us crypto YouTubers, we love these words. Key, it's massive, it's huge. All right? Look, I'm just using the lingo. When you become a crypto YouTuber, they send you a little book. All right? You got to use keywords like key, massive, huge. Click the link in the description. All right? Those are the only things you're supposed to say. And then they push your channel, all right? So we have this triangle here. We're coming down to this trend line, which you could argue has been respected since November 2020. We're dipping down, coming back up, and again, if this is what I think it is, all right, this will be huge. I think we're gonna see ETH come up to like $5,500. All right, I think we could do something like this. And it could happen quick. I think it could happen quick. All right, we hit our 5-minute mark. Do we have 1,000 likes? The answer is no. We're halfway there. We're halfway there only. We're halfway there. We're halfway there. All right, let's see. What do people say about the hair? They said, most of you say my hair is great. Cool, I love you guys. All right? I love you guys. Thank you for acknowledging the greatness of my hair. Yeah, I think this is, of course, Bitcoin's going to lead the way, but here's the deal. Just like we need to be patient here, in my opinion, because yes, we're seeing extremely bullish signals. Historically, these signals have taken some time to play out, so I'm still expecting that second week in May to be the big, between the 7th and the 14th of May, to be where we actually start to see a really, really big push to the upside. Right around the time FOMC interest rate decision comes out, not because I think the interest rates really affect the markets too much, but they definitely cause volatility in the short term. And short-term volatility can be a catalyst for long-term volatility. And so when you see assets at key support with bullish signs, a little bit of a nudge, a little bit of a volatility nudge could be the catalyst that we need to really start a big move, right? So, this is what I'm looking for on ETH. And I'll be honest, I hold quite a bit of ETH. I hold quite a bit of ETH on spot. So am I emotionally invested in this? Yes. But do I think this could very well happen? Yeah. Do I think it's preposterous that this is it for ETH? Yeah, I think it's preposterous. I think it's preposterous. I just can't imagine ETH topping out lower than last time. All right? Could I be wrong? Of course. But in my mind, it's preposterous. And in my mind right now, as I look at this chart, the weekly chart, weekly confirmed green dot here, all right? I just can't help but think to myself that the chances of upside are much higher than downside here. The chances of upside are much higher than chances of downside right now. I mean, we're literally at bear market levels. So, I'm gonna be keeping my eye on Bitcoin. ETH, I would be looking for this, all right? We know that we did bounce from key support, so this gives us a little local sideways range to trade on ETH. Now let's go to the 4 hour. ETH looking very similar to Bitcoin right now. But I would say this, on ETH, we have ourselves what I would consider to be a nice little range right here. Okay, we have our support that was respected as support once, twice, 3, 4 times. Then it was flipped into resistance. This gives us our range high. Then we have our range low here. So if we get another little push to the upside, we could do something like this. And then just like for Bitcoin, we would be looking for back tests, right? The first back test we would look for would be just simply around that $1,800 level where we have a clear support resistance flip. We make a shelf, we flip it into resistance, we break out, we get a back test, boom, right? Then we would be looking for our area like right around our 786, our high volume node of this lower area, right? Right around 1600. And then we'd also be looking to take that low one more time to get the real move going. Now, why these 3 levels? It's the same as what we're looking at for Bitcoin. If we take this low again, what is everything going to look like? If we take the low again, guys, we will have uneven butt cheeks, bullish divergence on our weekly. We will have it on our 4-day multiple drive. We will have it on our daily time frame. We will have it on every single time frame. If we take that low again, every single time frame besides the monthly will have a bullish reversal pattern, all right? So that is kind of the juice for ETH, man. And we can see this sideways range that I'm entertaining right now is historically a sideways range that has been respected. And we know that assets love to retrade ranges that they've established. This range was established in January, February 2021. We respected it very well through the bear market. It was support through the bull. And again, we could potentially be looking at this as a nice rounded bottom before coming back in. And then in hindsight, everyone would say, yeah, how obvious, how obvious. All right, we got another 5-minute timer. Did we get our 1,000 likes? What? No! We didn't get our 1,000 likes, guys. Come on. Come on. Dang. All right. All right. All right, Bitcoin getting a little bit of pre-market consolidation here. Shout out to Go Zags. Shout out to VR Emirate. Shout out to Laurel Jaquez Vithal. And shout out to Reluve. What do I think about Sol? Sol, in my opinion, is looking juicy. All right, Sol, in my opinion, is looking pretty dang juicy. Let's take a quick look. 8-week bear div confirmed on Bitcoin. Yeah. That's the 2-month chart, basically. Yes, it is confirmed. All right, it is confirmed. Now, here's the thing. We got to understand the high time frames are king, but they take time. They take time to play out. So you could have lots of volatility in the presence of confirmed high time frame divergences, because, you know, if this was the, let's just say this is the 2-month chart, all right? each one of these mountaintops here on the 2-month chart might look like, okay, the top is clearly in. But when you zoom into this top, what does it look like? It might actually look like this. Right? It might look like this. Right? It has a lot of volatility on the low time frames. Time for more upside, time for more downside. You know, as a day trader, as a crypto YouTuber, all it takes is one 30-second candle for me to completely change my bias and make a new thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? Like a new shocking thumbnail like this or something like, you know? Just takes one 30-second candle for me to get there shirtless with a photo of Sam Bankman-Fried and my Casper crew hat, all right? From this to this in just one 30-second candle. All right, so there's time for volatility. There's time for volatility. Let's look at Sol, actually. Let's take a quick look at Sol. Don't sell your soul. All right. Wait, this isn't Sol, hang on. Here we go. This is Sol. This is Sol. Okay, so Sol pretty much in the same place as Bitcoin. Here's the thing, guys. I have to say, this monthly candle, which will close in 2 days, could be a extremely bullish engulfing hammer candle, having taken the liquidity from 109, all right, from right here, having bounced perfectly from our monthly order block. Man, bullish engulfing candle. We got ourselves on the weekly time frame, hidden bullish divergence out the wazoo, all right, hidden bull div out the dang wazoo. Speaking of the wazoo, I never trade without my depends, because as a trader, you can't leave the chart. The price might move without you. Link in the description. I think you get 0% limit order fees off these depends here. The key is they're extra large. You get 26. All right. Link in the description, guys. I love these. Right. So anyway, this could be bullish out the wazoo. We go to the daily time frame, and what do we see? Bullish divergence, money flow getting higher, momentum waves getting higher. Okay, simply we've taken the lows of the range, we've closed back within. So what would I be looking for right now on Sol? Well, the same thing I'd be looking for on Bitcoin. We are printing a red dot on the daily, and so for me, I would love a little bit of a back test. A little bit of a back test coming down to the area between the golden pocket and the 786 for multiple reasons. In the event of a pullback, this is going to be our place to look. That's going to be the exact prices of 108 to 122 on Bitget. Reason being, that would give us the inverted head and shoulder. All right, got our shoulder, head, change of market structure, shoulder. That would be really nice. All right. Now we are above the POC. That is bullish, but we are printing the red dot on the daily. And you guys know, false move Monday. False move. Like we were saying before, the false move. You're outside, you're mowing the grass. All of a sudden, I gotta go to the bathroom. You run upstairs as fast as you can, trying to squeeze your sphincter as tight as you can to avoid the accidental spillage. You sit down on the toilet, and it's just gas. Nothing of substance. False move Monday, baby. So, maybe, just like what we're looking at for Bitcoin, right? We come up to our golden pocket 786 zone, get a little bit of a pullback here, and then we get the real move, right? Very possible. Not saying it's guaranteed to happen. Bitcoin's going to lead the way. Let me be clear. Now let me be clear. Now let me be clear. Now let me be clear.
Now let me be clear. I've been dead since 2019, and every time you've seen me on TV, it's either been a deep fake or a body double. But the science is settled. This is all Trump's fault.
The thing is, guys, if Bitcoin can hold above 97,000, my whole theory of pullback goes out the window. All right? If Bitcoin can hold above this, then I have to say, you know what? Sad to say, but I don't think our pullback's going to happen now. I think I've missed the gravy train, which we haven't missed the gravy train because, again, you know, if you're in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we've given many long setups chances to get in here, like this one from last week at jasoncaspertrading.com, best Discord in the world. In fact, in about an hour, I'm going to be going over my low time frame trading plans and setups in the New York Open VIP live stream. All right, so if you're interested in that, check it out at jasoncaspertrading.com. All right, but if we hold above 97, in my opinion, all these altcoins and Bitcoin are not going to get that pullback, because this, like I said, is the doorway to the mythical Thanksgiving conversation with your family about how you were right, they were wrong, and now you're a trillionaire. Okay? AKA, I would expect new all-time highs. At least 105, but I would expect all-time highs. Right? So Bitcoin's going to lead the way. Keep your eyes this week, because like I'm saying, I'm seeing things here, like the red dot on all these coins, that could give us a pullback. It's rare that we pump after confirming a red dot. It's more common that we confirm a red dot and we get a little bit of a like, look at this, for example, we confirmed a red dot here on a Thursday. The following day was a Friday. We actually ended up pumping 5%, but then we got sideways and down, right? So I just want to make it clear that, yeah, I'm bullish, but if right now we're seeing something that's making me lean towards a pullback, but nothing's guaranteed in trading. So if we don't get a pullback, and if we're seeing daily closes above here and holding this now as our support, then I'd say we're not getting the pullback. Just like down here. Do you guys remember how key 85.3 was? This was our POC of the entire range down here, right? I guess it's a little bit different now. Let's try and see if we can. Okay, I gotta turn off extend right. There you go. Yeah. So this right here, I guess 84K, we're saying this is very key. We come above 84K, we're gonna get sucked up to 90K. Same deal right now. We reclaim most of the volume, we're gonna get sucked up higher. But the way the chart's looking now, I'm expecting and prepared for a little bit of a pullback. And that's the way I'm actually gonna be planning my trades. Why would I be planning that? Well, because I can't possibly long this. Only a fool would long this, unless you're a gambler, which is fine. Go ahead and gamble, but if you're gonna long this right now, this would have to be your like trade setup, which is like, you know, not a very good setup. You know, it's like a 1-to-1 risk reward, not even that. If we just put the stop loss below the daily low, so I couldn't possibly long this unless I was shooting for much higher. But even still, for me, this just isn't worth it. I'd rather wait for a place where I can buy low. So what would that be? Well, coming back down to support. Then I could buy low, and then I could shoot for our next big resistance. This, to me, is a better setup, right? 6-to-1 risk reward instead of a 1-to-1. 6-to-1 instead of a 1-to-1. Bitcoin's crashing, says somebody. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Someone says Bitcoin's crashing. Check it out. 3-minute time frame. Whoa! Bitcoin is crashing. Guys, Bitcoin is crashing. Time for a new YouTube thumbnail. Bitcoin is crashing. Ah! Oh, oh, oh. I've never seen such a thing. Oh man. What the heck? Unless you trade it as a bull flag. That's true. That's true. All right. You might want to trade this as a bull flag. To be honest with you guys, I'm not a big fan of bull flags. Let's see what's happening here. Oh my goodness. Let's go to the 5-minute time frame quickly. Let's check out the order flow a little bit. Hang on. I've gone a little bit Aussie mixed with UK. Oh wow, look at that dump on the 5 minutes. All right, so actually we did we have, no, we didn't even have bearish absorption here. But we did have quite a few longs opening up at the high here. Quite a few longs opening up at the high. In about half an hour, we are going to have pre-market open. And we're probably going to get a little bit of injection of volatility. A little bit injectionated volatility. All right, just a wee bit of injectionated volatility. Okay. Really? HFG Sailor just announced he got another $1 billion in Bitcoin. Is that real? That's crazy. That's crazy. Man, Michael Saylor, he just buys Bitcoin. He just buys Bitcoin as much as possible, you know. I used to be like that. I used to have money. Just kidding, I didn't have money. But I would buy Bitcoin as much as possible. Am I using pre-workouts? Yes! I'm using pre-workouts. Lots of pre-workouts, all right? I will tell you exactly what I'm using, all right? I'll tell you my stack, all right? Coffee, all right? Coffee from my Market Cipher mug. Nice big mug of coffee. Now, here's the thing. I only put 12 ounces of coffee in here. I'm a 12 ounce a day kind of guy, all right? I like sleep. And I love to sleep 8 to 9 hours a night. Warren Buffett just chilling, eating his McDonald's breakfast sandwich. Sailor buys tops, usually not a good sign. Pre-workout is greater than energy drinks. Guys, pre-workout and energy drinks are not good, all right? Stick to the coffee. Stick to the coffee. You know, if there's one thing I've learned in life, it's this. How do I say this? Eating and drinking single ingredient plant and animal food sources will make you look and feel way better than if you're taking synthetically created substances that come in aluminum cans and or plastic containers in powdered form. I'm just being honest, guys. All right, I'm 34, about to be 35. I'm stronger. I'm more jacked. I have more energy than I did when I was 24, about to be 25. Simply because of my diet and my lifestyle. When I was 24, man, I was taking all that crap. All right. But now it's way better. Just sleep well, sleep. Eat whole foods. Man, you're gonna feel so good. You're gonna feel so good. All right. Coffee has mold. Well, it's a good thing I actually drink a special kind of coffee that's been tested for mold. It's very low mold coffee. But that's true. Is this the deep fake Jason Casper? Yes, always the deep fake. Always the deep fake. Quantum computing will erase Michael Saylor's net worth. That would be insane, guys, if quantum computing really did erase Michael Saylor's net worth. You know? Jason's jacked because he has Bitcoin. All coffee has mold. All right. Blockchain Don says all coffee has mold. Well, beware, guys. Coffee has mold. All right? Don't drink it. Stick to the energy drinks instead. Or if you really want to be healthy, I guess, don't use caffeine. But I'll be honest, I love caffeine. I love caffeine. I love it, and I love coffee. I love coffee. What do I think about yerba? I honestly don't really know what it is. My French press will beat an energy drinks ASS. That's for sure. I used to work at Starbucks, and that's how I got introduced to French press. And yeah, I love French presses. I don't use them though. I ain't got time for that, man. I set my drip coffee pot to brew me a pot of coffee at 4 in the morning. All right, I'm usually up around 5. Do I do private sessions? I used to, but I just don't have the time right now. All right. Shout out to Clay the Great. He says, you can always tell the real Jason Casper by the horrible haircut. If Jay looks like a Dominican, if Jay looks like a Dominican hooked up his hairline, then it's the evil Jay clone. Yeah, that's true, man. You can tell this is the real Jay right today. I mean, look at that hairline, guys. Wow, what do you guys think? Looking pretty good, I think. This is what coffee will do to you guys, all right? This is what coffee will do to you guys. How do I deal with depression and anxiety? Man, I'll tell you, because this is something that I have struggled greatly with, depression and anxiety. This is something that I have dealt with many times in my life. So for me, it's it really all comes down to my sleep. I'll be honest with you. It comes down to my sleep. So when I get into a zone where I'm sleeping 5-6 hours a night, and I'm working out hard, and I'm trying to do everything I do, especially in the winter, I start to get depressed and anxiety, and not like sad about something specific or anxious about something specific. It's more of like a physiological thing, right? So for me, it's the sleep. If I can get my sleep 8-9 hours a night, that just changes everything. It just changes everything for me. Purple pickle juice. You drink purple pickle juice. That's good. That's good. Real men drink tea. That's very true. I knew a guy named Jesse Kitchen. Shout out to Jesse Kitchen. And he would drink tea, and he called it man tea. And you know what? Yeah, I can see that. But look, I'm Cuban. I've been drinking coffee since I was a little boy. All right, I love coffee. I love everything about it. I don't rely on caffeine. I enjoy the effect. I enjoy the caffeine buzz in the morning. I love the taste. I love the smell. I love the heat of a hot cup of coffee in the winter. And I love the cold, refreshing sip of a frozen iced coffee in the summer. All right? You can't get 8 to 9 hours. You always wake up after 6 to 5 hours. Enjoy money. Well, try and do some things to help you sleep better. So, for me, things that have helped me sleep: shut off the screens. All the stuff we all know to do, but it's really hard to do, and it's easy to get into a pattern of not doing it. But shut off your phone, shut off your computer like 2 hours before bed. Sit on the couch, read the Bible, have a nice conversation with your wife or whatever. Just relax. Light a fire, something relaxing, right? And have a nighttime routine that tells your body it's time to sleep. Because I've had these issues as well, where I sleep for 4 hours and then I wake up. And for a while you can do it. For a while you're like, nice, man, I'm awake, it's 4 hours, let's go conquer the day. But a few months of that, you're gonna end up in a not so great place, right? So, other things you could try, if you're a guy at least: vitamin D, zinc, boron. Those things can help. Magnesium. But I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Shrooms, marijuana, nah. Those things won't help you. Those things won't help you. Those things won't help you. I'm Cuban, but I have roots in Spain. Yeah, I do have roots in Spain. I do have roots in Spain. Tren is your friend? Yeah, Tren is your friend, guys. If you're trying to get jacked, then Tren is your friend. Or so they say, I don't know. NyQuil. Oh my goodness, no, this is the worst idea. I mean, it will definitely help you sleep, but you're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel good about yourself, or you're not going to feel good in the morning, all right? All right? You remember the time I said I don't wear deodorant? You actually use coconut oil and it works wonders and kills bacteria? Cool, cool. Cool, cool. Have I tried marijuana and shrooms? Yeah, of course. I used to be one of the most avid marijuana smokers out there, man. Used to love me some marijuana all day, every day, baby. And shrooms, I've dabbled in the shrooms a few times in my life, not on a regular basis. In the UK, many people are using roids. I heard that too, man. I heard that too. Look, ganja doesn't really help you sleep, alright? It will keep you from having restful REM sleep. Marijuana will. It might make you fall asleep. It's like alcohol. It might make you fall asleep. You're not going to have good sleep. Alright? Weed hangovers are real. Alright? Trust me, I know. Weed hangovers are real. You get super stoned. You go to sleep. Guess what? Tomorrow morning, you wake up, you're groggy. You're tired. You're foggy. You're not ready to conquer the day. All right, it's a real thing. But here's the thing: when you do it every day, you get used to it. You don't realize you feel that way until you stop doing it. Then you look back, you're like, dang, can't believe I used to live my life like that. But look, if anyone smokes the ganj, like I always say, I ain't got no hate towards you. I ain't got no judgment towards you. Alright? But just for me, I'll tell you, there were many things about it that negatively impacted my life. So if it's helping you out, you know, do your thing, man. I'm a libertarian, but for me, it really had many negative impacts for me. Physically, spiritually, mentally, many negative impacts. And I used to try and rationalize those away because I loved getting high. Let's just be honest, right? You rationalize those things away. But maybe you're different. I don't know. Maybe you're different. All right? Ever tried ashwagandha? Nope. Never tried it. Never tried it. What I like better, Cardano or Sol? Well, obviously, I've been invested in Cardano for much longer than I've been invested in Sol. Because it's been out longer, right? But, I don't know. I have a lot of both, so I hope they both perform well. I can't say that I have preference one over the other, you know? How did I quit marijuana? The Lord set me free from it. Jesus set me free from marijuana. That's how it happened. It was a divine intervention. The Lord set me free. Jesus can set you free from anything. From any addiction, any bondage you have, demonic, spiritual, physical, substance, He can set you free from it. The Lord set me free from being a pothead. It was a supernatural event because I somehow had to, like I said, He just gave me that ability to stop, even though I was living with people that did it every day at the time. So, you know, praise God for it. Praise God. XRP looking good? I think XRP is looking good through the lens of everything that we've already gone through this stream, right? So, XRP, let's check it out on the weekly here. XRP, CDW, aka swing failure pattern of the low, right? We've got ourselves, I mean, let's look at the monthly. Potential monthly bullish engulfing here, money flow getting thicker. If Bitcoin's gonna pump, XRP's gonna pump. And so even if we get a pullback on all these assets now, I'd be looking for something like this. Let's see how the month closes here. 2 days, strong monthly close. You know, we've got ourselves a really nice hidden bull div here. Very nice hidden bull div here on XRP. Yeah, look, Bitcoin's going to lead the way, but yes, it looks good. It looks good to me. We're trading a sideways range. We come to the bottom of the range. We've taken the liquidity from the bottom of the range. We've got ourselves some nice bottom divergences here on the weekly. Yeah. Can I show my current stop loss on my Bybit trade? I don't really have a trade on Bybit open right now. You know? Would I be trading if Market Cipher didn't exist? Yeah, of course. Of course. But I would not be using Market Cipher. There you go. I would be trading, but I would not be using Market Cipher. You know? Guys, be nice to each other in the chat. If you smoke weed, if you don't smoke weed, if you do heroin, you don't do heroin, you know, just be nice to each other in the chat, alright? Be nice. We're all on our own path here. Alright, I'm just speaking for myself when I say that I don't do it and I don't like it. But I'm not going to hate on anyone if they do it and if they like it, okay? Because I've been there myself. So I can only tell you my own experience. I was in bondage to it. It did very negative things to me. The Lord supernaturally set me free from that. And I'm free from that now. And I'm very thankful for that. But if you listen to the ganja, you know, I ain't going to hate on you. I'm not going to condemn you for it. Look, I've been there myself, okay? Everyone's different. Everyone's different. I'm a libertarian. Alright, I don't care what you do. Just don't mess with me. Alright? Just don't mess with me. How does altcoin season work? Money flows into Bitcoin. Bitcoin ranges. Money flows into altcoins. Altcoins pump. And that's how it works. The trade that has 19K in profit. Do I want to show my stop loss there? I guess it's on the chart, so I guess I've already showed it. I hate showing my stop losses, but it's in the 77s. Let's put it that way. It's in the 77s. It's in the 77s. Moonphase printed a high yesterday. Am I a moon believer? Yeah. I don't trade it, but I've seen how interesting it is that it works. You know? I know, right? Enjoy money. That's the thing. I shouldn't show my stop losses on these streams. Seriously. Shouldn't do it. Did I struggle to be profitable in the beginning? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Took me about 3 years. Took me about 3 years to become profitable, but I did it the wrong way, guys. I tried to just trade without knowing what I was doing. Sorry for the elevator music, guys. I'll switch it up here. I'll switch it up. Am I bullish today? I'm bullish a little bit, guys. I'm bullish for a little bit of a move to the upside. But we'll see what happens in like 7 minutes. I think we might get a little bit of a move here in about 7 minutes. But yeah, guys, we're going to continue this live stream over in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. While I'll be going over my day trading plan, looking for entries live at jasoncaspertrading.com. I'm going to head out right now, but may God bless everybody in Jesus' name. May the Lord bless you and your families. May He draw us all closer to Himself. And may we all grow in our knowledge and love of our Creator, Jesus, Messiah, the eternal, uncreated God who took on flesh to die for the sins of humanity and rose again on the third day. And now if we put our faith in Him, He promises to give us His Holy Spirit so we can be changed. People asking, how did I quit weed? The Holy Spirit will change you. You're a new creation. It's not like you're just the same person trying not to do those things. You're changed. You don't want to do the things that used to keep you in bondage. You've been set free from those things that are keeping you in bondage by the power of the Holy Spirit, the resurrection power of our Creator. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.